All right, folks, we're back again. Today we're going to discuss fourth dimensional shape shifting. It comes from our maker originally, and they hoard the stuff for themselves so that we don't use it. We stay in a slave capacity, and we are not capable of doing these things because of calcification, and that is the main thing. The pineal gland is responsible for our entire perception of our entire reality. And that's why I'm seeing these doodles. Our whole reality is not what they told us. It's really like messed up. So right there, you're seeing that bloodshot, that iRobot heart chakra thing going off. And that's what happens. You get that fiery heart and it takes over from head to toe. Literally, this whole chakra alignment becomes a superpower source. And I felt it spinning in my chest when I fasted last time. It was absolutely amazing. When you have food in your chest, in your body, it feels like you're having a heart attack. But it feels good when you don't have any food in your body. So let me get into these reptilians. From when I met them in New York, it's because my auras were going off because I was sun gazing. I could see them and I could see that they weren't human, even though they were in a human form. They were tall. Wasn't cognitive dissonant at all. I seen that they were all like 8 foot. They noticed that I noticed them, and they immediately approached me in Plattsburgh, New York. And that was one of their hubs. And they said, one of them rolls up on a skateboard. Some of them were getting out of their cars, going into the gas station, staring at me at the payphones, just weird shit like that. And then one of them says, skin me, like that. And I was like, wow, what the fuck you mean skin me? He reaches his arm out for me to grab his arm right here, and he grabs my arm, and it literally electrocutes him. And he's like, man, what the fuck are you eating? You know, and I'm just like, I'm eating the sun, you know. He keeps going. He runs into the gas station trying to find those nasty triangle sandwiches. Here, eat this. I'm like, no, I don't eat that crap. That's disgusting. Nasty fucking sandwiches. I was like, you got some weed? He was like, man, there's nothing I can do for you. Like that. He goes off riding in a skateboard. Dude's like 8 foot tall. It's freaking crazy. Some of these dudes had slits in their eyes. This dude was like, I mean, he was trying to give me directions with this old man, and he couldn't hold his form because he started foaming at the mouth and shit, and he had slits in his eyes. I was like, this motherfucking place full of reptilians. And that's when I first met him. I thought they were a hoax. Me and Quasi was going back and forth over it, and I was like, man, these fake overlays, this is bullshit. This is all Final Cut Pro overlays. These motherfuckers don't exist. They show us a real one if they wanted us to be scared. But they real. Sure enough, I thought they was a hoax. Well, anywho, from what I understand is that they only come out at night. It's because the sun will kill them. But the daywalkers, from what I've gathered from the Eminem video, and the sun didn't teach me about this part, but the daywalkers, from what I've gathered over the years, is that the clone, depending on the deal they have with the maker, the original celebrity of whoever sold they soul, Eminem, for instance, he didn't get killed. They put him somewhere, and if you watch the video, I need a monster to bring him back to life. They show you the Eminem is locked away somewhere. On the Godzilla video, that dude is a clone, and he's got a reptilian inside of him. So that's what happens in that instant, depending on what kind of deal it is. Michael Jackson got to go to the X. Watch This Is It. He's in the shape of an X, told you to go to the Place with No Name in the Place with No Name song. That was his deal. So Eminem, he got locked up somewhere. Some of them get killed. Some of them are killed and then cloned. The clones are typically hit with a reptilian. And what I've noticed, the daywalkers, the reason why they're out, is they'll cover one eye, they'll go to their victim, and this duct here will shoot out their consciousness in like a sperm-like gland. It will go into the eye corner of the victim, and it goes up in their brain. It takes over their consciousness, and then the being arises as a daywalker who can walk around like a man who is also a reptilian. And that's what I've learned about them, is that that's how they are able to come out during the day. And you got some people that are skinwalkers and different stuff like that for different reasons. But that's why I've met some people in San Diego land that said that that they spray this stuff in the air, and they always have. And that's why Tears for Fears, head over heels, you see them in the library where the maker runs it. Some people in there wearing masks. Alien Ant Farm, way before they started spraying chemtrails. The Light Sun that was breakdancing wore a mask while the layman people sat in the background on the grass, laid out. You understand? So, yeah. And he was on the concrete, which also shows that he was grounding himself on the concrete. So it's just quite astonishing. Even though he had shoes on, you want to be barefoot on the concrete, the ground, on the silicon tree slab. The lunatics were in the grass. So watch those videos, and you can also watch, what's that other film? Private Eyes. When Hall and Oates, they showed you, Hall is He's like 7 foot, 8 foot tall over all those dudes. And he says, I transform into any disguise. And he changed into a green suit, completely gave himself away. I'm a reptilian, bro. Watch Private Eyes if you want to see that firsthand. So these day walkers and these shapeshifters, we are all shapeshifters. They get it from the maker. They lie. Telepathy is hidden from us. They tell us that you're talking to yourself and we can read your mind. That's bull. You're speaking telepathy. And sometimes I still get lost in that too, you know, it's talking to myself and stuff over and over. And that's how they made us insane, that's why we are insane. Other than our teachings and what we believe in, that's lies. All right, so this is since my pineal gland is responsible for it and my imagination is responsible for it in this fourth dimension. You look at Picasso, he's got a billboard up downtown that says, whatever you imagine is real. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, fourth dimension. Again, so I imagine this, I draw my costume and what I want to look like, and I can shapeshift into this when my pineal gland finally breaks out. When this all happens, I will be able to wear this, and this is what you're going to see me wearing, and I'll be able to change it and do whatever I want. And that's the secret, and that is the fourth dimension perception. You're on the black and white checkerboard, and you can do whatever you want to do in living color. You understand? Is that there is no shapeshifter for somebody else, shapeshifting that you should be afraid of or anything like that. It's a natural phenomenon that we're all capable of doing. It is a miraculous gift that is being hidden from us by liars. So these people that walk out during the day, it's because they're in a clone body. And whether the original guy was killed or sacrificed or whatever, the clone that we've seen are typically with a reptilian inside of it, because the clone would just be another M&M without that. So think about that. What does the clone do other than what it wants? You see what I'm saying? So they got to do something to the clone. Otherwise, the clone is just going to be running around rogue, doing whatever it wants. Maybe even trying to find his original self. Who knows? So that's what I've gathered about this. Fourth dimensional perception is something that I'm chasing after. This is something that I keep getting visions of. They keep showing me this red suit, and the details of it were kind of vague, but I decided to detail it to give myself an identity within this perception so I can aim towards it and have a gratifying motivation even to, this suit is badass. I love this idea. This is badass. It's baggy. It's not all tight and skinny, skin tight tights. I hate that shit. I am a street hip-hop graffiti type dude. I like baggy stuff. This is like right up my alley. But I mean, this is just, wow. It's amazing. So I wanted to share this with you guys. I'm about to go get my sun gazing on because the sun has come around. I haven't really slept much because I got so much energy from sun gazing and not eating. The food makes me feel sluggish. What can I say? I feel, great. And I feel like I can stay awake. So, fourth dimensional perception is something we should all be chasing after. We should all be standing in the sun. We should all get away from the poisons as much as possible. I'm starting my third 2-week fast officially, and I'm gonna break out. The whole time that I was eating, when I was eating anything, I was sun gazing all day still. So I didn't lose any progress. That's what I keep saying to everybody. If you do eat any of that nasty poison that's holding you back from being your true self, then sun gaze for the equivalent amount. If you eat 3-course meals, which is satanic, because you're consuming, get it? Cons. To consume is a fucking con. It's bullshit. It's poison, typically. So, you want to sun gaze for an equivalent amount of time. If you eat for an hour a day, you want to sun gaze for an hour or 2 hours. You understand? If you eat 3 times a day for 2 hours, you want to sun gaze for like 6 hours. And you want to stay on the path, man, because this is a special gift. And like she told me, you don't want to squander the blessing. You know what I mean? And neither do you. So this is it. That's the secret of it. That's their whole secret of this whole shape-shifting thing. The Masters of the Skies. I heard people telling me, hey, speak on that Masters of the Skies thing. And that's why they can change their look and hide and be something else. And that's why the masked magician changes his face. That's why David Blaine sits underwater for 17 hours and doesn't die. Because the fourth dimension. You can do what you want to do and live in color. Chris Angel levitated over the pyramids in Vegas with no strings, guys. No strings. He can levitate for real. He showed you. Moves the camera back so you can't really see for real. So you really don't really think he was levitating. But the people standing next to him jump back like, oh shit. Like, because he really levitated. Like, it's fucked up. So that's what we have the ability to do. We can do whatever we want in here. Unfortunately for them, they're capped off because they don't go to the light. The light is unmeasurable. You imagine having the ability to shapeshift without taking an oath in the lodge and having the ability to take back your country if you feel like that's what it is? It's a fictional corporation. There's no countries. That's what they told you. There's no countries. There's no continent. It's a con. It's all just bullshit fictions. Unfortunately. But if you want to take something back that you thought was yours, now's your chance, because this is a different generation of awakening. And fortunately for myself, I was able to go to the sun. I was so blind at the time. I corrected my eyes 70%, but I was so blind at the time that I would only push myself to the seeing the sun and heraldry and becoming blessed with a gift, that I would have to be that blind to sun gaze for years and years. Unlike some other people that sun gaze for like a year and they correct their eyes. My eyes were so bad that it was meant to be. It was all meant to be. And it was a natural thing that I had horrible vision. So, I mean, thanks to the contacts ruining my eyes more, and thanks to the glasses for ruining my eyes more, I had to sun gaze that much more. Now I don't have to wear glasses or anything, and I've got this great blessing that I can share with everyone. Now, hog it to myself like these creeps. I share it with everyone because it's your gift. It's your birthright. It's your conception, right? It's what you are, and you deserve the truth, and you deserve to be something special. And I believe in you, and I know she does too. And I love all of y'all, even though I rattle your cage and call some of you fools and stuff. I have to, because some of you are stiff-necked, and some of you can't be told anything. Somebody's got to come and shake you wake up, damn it, fools. Oh, somebody's got to do something. Some of you like to hear it in a nice way. Some of you need a rude awakening. So it is what it is. But this is the secret of fourth dimensional perception. And when I change, this is what I'm going to be wearing. And this is the greatest motivational thing for anyone to see, and for myself. And for this next 2 weeks, I'm going to gun straight at it. My pineal gland is so loose because I've never stopped sun gazing, even though I was eating a veggie pizza or Krispy Kreme donuts, which is my favorite. And I'm exhausted. I ate so many Krispy Kreme donuts that I don't feel like I want to eat none no more, which is great. So, hey, catch me flying over a lake. And when you get awake, stay awake.